Shalom. Shalom. We are in the middle of a war. Maybe they're talking about peace. Maybe they will work something out. We'll see how things go. In the meanwhile, hostilities seem to be continuing. The war is between Israel and Iran. Proxies of Iran, Hezbollah, and Lebanon are also involved. Syria has about 26 million inhabitants on a good day, although many have recently fled the country since the ruling Alawite minority was defeated when in the civil war against the Sunni Muslims who comprise a majority over the country. Syria is predominantly Sunni Muslim, accounts for 74 to 80% of the population. Alawites were anywhere between 10 to 15% of the population. But they ruled the place until they were defeated. So until Lebanon has a population of about 5 million, it is about 30 to 35% Christian, largely Maronite, a type of Catholic group, or a group which feels closer to the Catholics than anyone else, no Greek Orthodox. And apart from that, also has 50 to 70% Muslims, Sunni Muslims. In Lebanon, and also Druze. No official census has been taken since 1932 in order to maintain the relative proportions that existed in the past, but have certainly changed since then, since the Muslims have many more children than the Christians do. Of Syria and Lebanon are two Arab-speaking nations to the north of Israel. Syria was ruled by the Alawites under the family of Assad until Lebanon used a confessional system that is the power was divided amongst the relative proportionally, was divided up proportionally amongst the relative religious groups. Sunni Muslims. So the Sunni Muslims are the overwhelming majority in Syria, and also they are very powerful, predominant in Lebanon. And the Sunni Muslims in Lebanon and Syria are the Sunni Muslims in Lebanon and Syria are one and the same people, and they join each other. Also large Druze enclaves in both Lebanon and Syria. The area of Lebanon south of Litani is now dominated by Shiite Muslims. The Shiite Muslims are ruled by the Hezbollah movement. The Hezbollah movement is a proxy of Iran. It does what Iran tells us. It was founded and funded by Iran and directed by Iran. And ever since from the very beginning, it has attacked Jews, killed Jews, and initiated terrorist attacks against Jews across the border, attacking us from across the border, and also attacking us overseas, attacking our embassies, attacking our personnel. And it has gone all out to kill Jews and to hurt Jews. Shiites were an oppressed minority, but ever since they linked up with Iran, they've become somebody. They've been able to assert themselves, and they show evidence of a fanaticism and a fanatic dedication to kill the Jews, to wipe the Jews out. And they have been trying to do that. for decades on have not been letting up, and they have been succeeding. They have succeeded insofar as they have aroused world opinion against the state of Israel. And the Gentiles are showing their true colors. Many anti-Semites have been, many is now respectable to be anti-Semitic in many areas. This is due partially to the machinations and the propaganda of Iran and of the Arabs. As of November, and also they've been attacking Jews in the north, and terrorist attacks against Jewish settlements in the north. As of November the 1st, 2023, about 253,000 Israelis have been evacuated from their homes due to Shiite attacks across the border from Lebanon. So virtual evacuation, moving out of a good portion of the Israeli population in that area, which is very important for us, important for the Israeli economy, important for the Israeli morale, the morale of the people, Jewish settlement in the land of Israel. Jews have been in effect expelled from their own land due to fear of these terrorist attacks, of the terrorists attacking, of the terrorists from Lebanon attacking Israel. In order to get back our land within our land, in order to be able to live within our land, the land that we already now hold, but close to the border, or relatively close to the border, we have to go further into Lebanon. We have to set up a borderland, a bulwark, a buffer zone between us and between the Shiites, the Hezbollah. That is what Israel is now doing. Israel is striving to reach the Litani River. The Litani River in its final stages, where it enters the Mediterranean Sea, it runs parallel to the border. And Israel wants to reach the Litani River and set up a buffer zone there. This is what, God willing, they will do. So Lebanese, people of Lebanon are the same people, more or less. We received a note noting concerning the population of Syria, noted different physical, racial influences that it experienced. The coastal towns of Syria have higher Phoenician influences. Northern Syria, such as Aleppo, is Turkish and Caucasus. Inputs from the areas such as Armenia, Azerbaijan, Georgian, and so on. Also, Homs and Latakia have Turkish influence. And there are also contributions from Kurdish and Assyrians in northeast Syria. So that is worth noting. But on the whole, the overwhelming majority of the population are Sunni Arabs. Sunni Arabs, but the Hezbollah are Shiite Arabs. They are a minority that were persecuted and despised forever, for generations, up until the Iranians came along and gave them something to live for, made them proud of themselves, and told them that the best thing they could do in life is sacrifice, commit suicide in order to kill the Jews. Why they did that, who knows? That is a sickness of the human constitution. You look at a map, Israel is quite some distance from Iran. We have nothing to do with them. We would prefer to have nothing to do with them. But they want everything to do with us. They're prepared to kill themselves and see their own children killed, and just to get rid of us. This is a quality of Amalek. Amalek in the book of Esther was the race of Haman. Haman was an advisor of King Ahasuerus in ancient Persia, and he advised the king to kill all the Jews. But in the end, Esther, the wife of the king, who was Jewish, unbeknown to the king, until later Esther succeeded in persuading the king not to do that which Haman had been trying to get him to do. And instead of that, Haman himself was put to death. So may the same thing happen in this case. Israel is fighting for its life, and this is the reality. We will give you a few minor points with background information. The name Lebanon means white. We have Mount Lebanon, the mountain of Lebanon, the White Mountain. In antiquity, Lebanon was dominated by Phoenician cities, especially Tyre and Sidon on the coasts, close to the Litani. The population of Tyre was a mixed Edomite and Canaanite, and also possibly some from Israel. The time of Joshua and the Israelite conquest, that is when the Israelites came out of Egypt, they moved through the wilderness. And then they came to the land of Canaan, and they began to conquer it and to divide up amongst them. And the area of Lebanon was mainly given to the tribe of Asher. There's also a presence of tribes, the tribes of Dan and other tribes. And there were Israelites there. Tyre, the city of Tyre supplied trees and artisans to help build the Temple of Solomon. King Hiram of Tyre was a friend of King Solomon, and he helped Solomon with supplying him with cedar logs and sending skilled workers to help build the temple. Later, the region was conquered by Assyria, Babylon, Macedonia, and Greeks under Alexander, then the Romans. The Crusaders established Christian enclaves in the 1000 CE. The Ottoman Turks took control in the 1500 CE. Later, the French were there. At the end of the Second World War, the French took over both Syria and Lebanon, so they too had an influence on the area. And then Lebanon and Syria became independent and did what they did until the Persian War broke out. And recently, in March 2026, Israel Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich stated that Israel should annex territories up to the Litani River. Actually, Israel is obligated to do that in order to survive. The Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz says that the military will or should secure a security zone also up to the Litani River in southern Lebanon till the threat of Hezbollah is removed. Also, we have the Jewish population, both in Israel and in Lebanon and in Syria, and they've been threatened or they're in danger because of they're in danger from the Sunni Muslims in domestic and around that area who are hostile to them. And Israel is interested in helping them and protecting them or enable them to protect themselves. An Israeli presence south of the Litani would enhance this, would enable this. So too, Israel is utilizing natural gas resources of the coast of Israel. And these have been under threat from different Muslim entities, and Israel having a presence south of the Litani River would enhance its ability to protect itself, to protect its possessions. So that is another reason why advancing forces to south of the Litani River may be of utility. Also, the Litani River has a great deal of water. It is the most copious water supply in Lebanon. And that water flows into the sea, fresh water flowing into the sea. So that too could be a resource that Israel could use or other people could use, that could be put to use. And Israel being in that area would enable it to be put to use. So this too is a consideration. At all events, may the Lord God of Israel bless you and help us. Thank you.